Hey y'all, so for this week, the two shows that I watched were The Twilight Zone and The Haunting of Hill House. And The Haunting of Hill House is new on Netflix and it's super good. I highly recommend it. And I picked The Twilight Zone because it was an older show that is kind of similar in the way that it's kind of like the extraterrestrial kind of out there sci-fi, which was kind of similar in the way that Haunting of Hill House is like a little out there. Not in like the more average ghost story kind of way, in like the more possessed kind of way. Um, it sounds really weird, but it's actually a really good show. So, anyways, the Twilight Zone in general, overall, definitely does a better job. Um, in the fact that, oh, sorry, there's my dog. um, it definitely does a better job in general of representation, but taking into consideration the fact that the Twilight Zone, every episode is a different story. You're going to have different actors, different storyline, different plot. You're going to have better representation. So that's just something that, I had to consider. So I also looked at things like race and LGBT inclusion. And in 1958, race just wasn't really something that was very involved in acting and stuff like that. There wasn't a huge African American population in Hollywood, as well as other races in general, which is still something that isn't very big in Hollywood. And there wasn't any LGBT involvement in Hollywood back then, as it wasn't something very big in society, and those are something both included in The Haunting of Hill House. So I think that Haunting of Hill House did a better job in that regard. But overall, I think that Twilight Zone did a better job of like age, sex, that kind of stuff. Haunting of Hill House did a really good job of that, but there's just more people in Twilight Zone, if that makes sense. And then a different show that I think does a good job. I picked Parks and Rec. That's like my favorite show of all time. It has people of all different kinds of backgrounds, races, genders. It's just a great show. And technically it's not on the air anymore, but it is on Netflix. And I think the producers just made an effort to go out and like pick people of all different kinds of backgrounds and stuff like that, which I feel like this might be a stretch, but they're supposed to work in a government office, and so maybe it's maybe it's a metaphor of like how America is so diverse. I don't know. That might just be a total stretch on my behalf, but I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I will see you next week. Bye.